Hey, this is Michael Williams, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you everything you need to know about the Palette Designer. Alright, so let's jump right in. Let's go to the green menu button, we're going to go to the Designer, then switch over to the Palette tab, and I'm just going to go ahead and select this palette right here, which is just a copy of the default palette, just so we can edit it. And I'm going to click on the green Edit This Palette button. Once inside, you're going to see a whole bunch of color swatches, and you're going to see a row to the top that says interior, exterior, and all of the various different elements that are part of that category. And then running down the side, you'll see a column that says day, night, evening, and all of the different elements that belong to the day-night category. And the idea here is that each color represents the color that will appear on the strip at the intersection of each one of these elements. So for instance, if I want to set the color of the strip for interior evening, I would just go to interior evening, and then this is going to be the color swatch that's going to activate whenever those two elements appear on a strip. And all you need to do to change this color is to click on it. It's going to bring up a color chooser, and let me show you how this is laid out. At the top there is a title which shows you which swatch you're editing, in this case interior evening. This is the color brightness area, and then beneath it is the color hue area. At the very bottom is a text string which represents the color value that you've chosen. And we'll get to that in a second. If you're just going to make a slight variation in this same hue, you can just go ahead and pick any color here just by dragging and clicking. I'm holding down the mouse right now as I drag around. And you can see the color value changes as I drag around to these different areas. Top right is the brightest, and the bottom left is the darkest and lacking the most color. If you'd like to change the hue entirely to some different color value, then all you need to do is drag this little slider here at the bottom, and you can see it's just changing all the different hues here. So if I wanted a nice blue or red or a yellow, sort of a magenta, you can just slide that around right there. But let's stay in the green color space because that's the traditional color. I'm going to go ahead and pick sort of a bright green. And having selected that, the decision's already been made. The color swatch has already changed. You don't need to click save or anything else like that. When you're done with the color chooser, you can just click off of it and you're done. But if you'll notice, evening and night used to have the same color, and that actually makes a lot of sense. You probably want the color values for evening and night to have roughly the same color value. And in this case, I want it to be the exact same color value. So all I need to do is actually copy this little text string right here. And this text string represents that color value in a way that you can copy and paste into different swatches. So just on my keyboard, I'm going to hit Command-C. If you're on Windows, Control-C. And then I'm just going to click on the night swatch, select that text area at the bottom, and hit Command-V on my keyboard, or if you're on Windows, Control-V. And now you can see it's the exact same color value. It's precise. And because I've copied that, I can paste that value into any one of these swatches that I want. I just need to go through each one and paste it in. So that's the basic operation. And if you want to change the color values for either the day strip or the banner, they're right here at the top. So you just click on those, make whatever changes you want to either of those, and they'll change. Now the one thing you'll notice that you don't see here is the ability to change the color of the text. Let's say for instance I chose a very dark color for one of these swatches, and the text, which is normally black, may not show up against it. So what do you do there? Well, the answer is you actually don't need to do anything. Think Crew has already thought of that. So if I change one of these swatches to a very dark color, Think Crew detects the dark color and then changes the value of the text to white. So let's give that a shot. You can actually see over here on the side, you can actually still see all of the strips here. Most of these are interior days. You can see these white strips right here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch the color value for this to something very dark, this very dark red over here. And just clicking off the side here so we can see the strip board a little bit better, you can see that all the strips are now dark red for the day interiors, and the text has automatically changed itself to white where it used to be black. This is an automatic change. There's nothing you need to do. There are no settings you need to control. Think Crew will do the thinking for you on this, and will always give your text a color value that's visible against the color that you chose for the background color. Back in the Palette Designer now, the last thing I want to show you is just how to get out of it. So when you're done, you can either just click off to the side here like I did before and just jump directly out of the designer. Or if you want to go back to the palettes, just click this Back to Palettes button and it'll take you directly back to the Palettes tab. That is it for the Palette Designer. If you have any questions, please post them to YouTube or Facebook. And thanks very much for watching.